What's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Sammy Legger here representing Team JVS. I am here for the very first time, technically, I guess, for you guys, doing a review for a show that I have yet to actually review, but now I have seen both the first season and the second season. I'm still waiting on doing a full-on, spoiler-filled discussion with my man Jarrell's Alexandria talking about the show The Servant, developed by M. Night Shyamalan on Apple TV Plus. And as far as my thoughts on the first season, I thought the first season was actually really intense, very well shot, very engaging, and it leaves on one of the craziest cliffhangers that you don't know what the heck to believe, who to trust, where to go, and it just takes you on for a ride. Now, this is starring Laura Ambrose, who plays the role of Dorothy. This is starring Toby Kebbell, playing the role of Sean, the husband. This is also starring Rupert Grint, playing the role of Julian, and then Nell Tiger Free, playing the role of Leanne Grayson. Now, the last season, it left off with Leanne leaving the house, presumably with the child, and meeting the cult in the middle of the street in a whole circle that just appeared out of nowhere like daisies. And, Sean basically losing all sense of his reality of what's real and what's not because he's literally burning his hand without feeling anything. So obviously something wrong. But at the same as that time, very first time since the very beginning of this season, for first season one, is that Dorothy is perceiving that what she's been doing this entire time with this doll has not been true. And so she wants the real, in her idea, Jericho back, even though we know that she was the cause of the original Jericho's tragedy. Now, this season, before I even go there, there's a strong line of plausible reality and sci-fi supernatural things that you're left to assume, okay? And definitely there's horror elements in it, especially in the way that it's shot, especially the way it was done. But there's comedic humor, there's comedic timing. And I'm going to say, the second season, things that you maybe doubt was real or reality, they take it to a completely different level in the second season. They take it to so many levels that you don't know what's real anymore. And to be quite honest with you, the first 3 episodes, it's really just Julian, Dorothy, and Sean. And, them dealing with the aftermath of what happened, dealing with the ramifications of what happened. Because the very last episode, too, they went and told everybody that Jericho, her son, was, out. And everybody was there at the party. And to be fair, I think that's one critique that I might have of the second season, that they don't pull enough with that reality of the ramifications of that party and what that really could have done. They go there. They definitely deal with the psychosis of it, and they definitely also pull back some things, some different shards of characters like Dorothy and her evolutionary process of carrying the original Jericho, seeing Sean do with his accolades, and even Sean in his involvement of where he wasn't there and where he could have done, what he could have prevented. And also even with Julian, they allowed Julian to progress with the family and going through this whole process as well to his own detriment, to his own sanity, to be quite honest with you. There's also a situation that happened with a person that Julian hired. In the very last episode, he went outside and he saw, he didn't know, the uncle. He didn't know the other cult leader. And then he just disappeared. We didn't know what happened to him. And that is also answered, and that chicken comes to roost as well. There's so many different threads of the first season of questions in your head that really, even in the first 7 episodes that I've already seen, do get answered, but then there's still some fundamental facts that haven't been. There's still some truths that haven't even been addressed yet. And yet, at the same time, they still maintain the same level of sharpness, in terms of different dialogue, questions about morality, beliefs, and even, like I said, that the first season, I felt that, especially the first 4 or 5 episodes, the cinematography was just amazing. And they definitely do some amazing cinematography in the second season. But I think what they capitalize in this one is the ambiance of this worry or concern of some supernatural things happening, or some things that are just not right, some evil things and evil actions that are befalling this family, befalling this household, and out of, you know, a lot of different terrible state of events that do happen in the second season. Can I say that this is better than the first season? I think it's more entertaining. I think it's more engaging than the first season, but I think that there's a level of suspense with the first season that I felt like it was the unknown of not knowing where things are going to go that they dabble with so well, where it's like the second season, you have to give some kind of resolve for that. And you may not like the answers that you're going to get, but the performances are on it. I think that honestly around, man, there's a certain episode, I don't want to call it because I don't want you guys to wait up for it, but there's a performance by Nell Tiger-Free, plays well Leanne, that she kills it. She does a better job in that episode than she did in the episode Crickets. The actress that plays the role of Dorothy, Lauren, she is, at times, she feels like the antagonist. Like, for real. Like, she is not only her worst enemy, but she's her family's worst enemy. She's everyone's worst enemy. But she also is a tortured soul. The circumstances is bad. Like what is on her and in her is bad. And it's kind of like, even like there's moments where Toby Kebbell's character Sean comes out smelling like a rose, but he's also enabling a lot of the things that are still progressing through. Do you get answers to questions about, you know, Leanne? Yes. Do you get some questions answered about Sean? Yes. Do things get more hectic and crazy and dangerous? Yes. Is there any death? Yes. So any of those questions, if you had them, second season's got it in spades. Just know, temper your expectations to know that this does take in the same vein of the first season. They just put it on an incline and it goes up, and it does not tear you down at any moment. So as far as my early thoughts on the first 7 episodes that I've already seen without giving anything away whatsoever, which I don't think I have, I'd rest it like an 8.5 out of 10. Like it's up there. It's actually doing an insane job, and I feel myself, you know, getting drawn in to want to see more, especially on where I kind of left off. So if that gives you any kind of clear picture, definitely go in anticipation for where season 2 is going to go. I believe it has already started with the first episode, and second episode I will be releasing my reviews for first and second episode pretty soon. But I wanted to give you guys this first so you guys know that I know a lot that I'm not saying. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Y'all have a blessed one. Be safe. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Make sure you go and check out The Servant Season 1 and Season 2 on Apple TV Plus right now. Bye, guys.